live.
Oh, we're live.
We're live. Hello.
Hello.
Everyone.
Hello, everyone. I'm sitting here with Elaine in her cute office in Pacific Heights, San Francisco. She is a yoga therapist and a friend of mine. And we are going live today to talk about our periods in relation to yoga therapy, movements we can do to help alleviate any kind of pain or symptoms we're feeling. And we're just going to have a conversation while we sip our red raspberry leaf tea.
My name is Elaine Oyang. I'm a yoga therapist. I'm practicing here in the functional medicine clinic in Pacific Heights, Advanced Health. And what I do is I work one-on-one with people, with individuals, to personalize their yoga practice to help resolve their persistent pain. And I do see a lot of female clients with low back pain in conjunction with chronic illnesses, autoimmune diseases, and a lot of times they also, because they already have existing low back pain problems, they have really severe symptoms around their cycles, around the onset of their periods or a few days into it. And low back pain is one that gets really aggravated during their cycles as well, especially if they already have existing challenges around low back pain and other things that's going on in their bodies. What I specialize is a restorative style of yoga therapy called spinal release yoga in conjunction with other more hatha styles yoga, alignment based yoga, and Vini yoga. So very therapeutic based, very person oriented, very individualized. I think that's one of the discerning factor between just going to a yoga class versus seeing someone who's a little bit more knowledgeable of how to customize practice for specific purposes, specific challenges in the body, physical or mental or emotional, and also helping them achieve a certain goal in feeling better in their bodies, and not having to live in a kind of a limitation. They feel like they're trapped a little bit, so teaching them how they can move safely to increase mobility, which we all know is great because movement is important aspect of keeping the body blood circulating, energy flowing.
And my practice is Moon Cycle Nutrition. I am a women's health, functional medicine, Ayurvedic nutritionist, and health coach. I practice here in San Francisco. I work with teens all the way to perimenopause and really on empowering anyone who identifies as a woman on about their bodies, about their rights, and how to use food as medicine for their bodies. So anything ranging from like acne to whether or not they should go on birth control to gut health issues, mental health issues, all of that with using food as the medicine, and then lifestyle factors. And I use a lot of Ayurvedic wisdom, and also functional medicine and integrative health wisdom in coaching clients through the whole process of just getting them to live their best lives. I also teach yoga nidra meditation and a lot of womb work with that yoga nidra meditation, and I do privates and I teach classes. We just had a really wonderful workshop Sunday night, and it was called Embodying Shakti, and we were just using the moon cycle wisdom with voice activation and cacao, and just really an empowerment work. And so that's a little bit about what I do here in San Francisco and around the Bay Area. Sometimes you'll find me in other places like Bali or New York. But I post all of that on my social media, so you can always find me. But, diving into today, I really wanted, like the number one question I get asked by people when I talk about periods is like cramping and back pain and the severity of it. And I know movement and the type of movement we do has so much to do with how we experience pain and how much of it. For me, early on, I just being so in tune with my body, I learned as a young woman that when I do more of movement, I had less cramping. And not more movement where like I'm running marathons, but just having some sort of exercise versus when I had months of just not working out, like just like, where I'm like intensely studying or just not working out at all. Those were when my cramps were the worst. And I just picked that up, but I had no one to tell me that. And so, I want you to go into maybe how that works and how our body works. And
Yeah. And that's just to kind of build on top of your story for a little bit here. I've actually had the opposite experience. But I did, so for a while, I had really severe cramps as well, the kind that you're just like rolled up, clutching yourself on the floor and crying a little. And that was because I was overly exercising.
Right.
I did go through a period where I had not quite a diagnosed eating disorder, but I was limiting my food intake, and I was exercising a lot. And from the Ayurveda perspective, it's building up too much heat. You're depleting yourself and your body and your precious resources when you're not nourishing yourself, first of all, and then over exercising. I was like running, 3 to 5 miles daily, and the mindset of just kind of punishing myself, that's all very toxic and self-damaging. And my body reflected that in the way that during my cycle, it was just really intense cramping. And that's because during your cycle, yes, you are eliminating, but your body needs to prepare for it. Because think of it, if you were to get pregnant during that time, your body is building towards potential pregnancy, so they're taking a lot of resources. But if you're constantly depleting yourself, then your body has to work harder to help with the building up and also the elimination of it. And secondly, on top of that, is because I was so aggressively exercising and moving and just overstriving and pushing my body, my entire body was just tense. My muscles were tense. The uterus itself, it's a muscle, right? And if everything is tense, my uterus will be tense and tight too. And what needs to happen during the time of flow is a letting go, a relaxation and surrendering process, which I was not practicing in other areas of my life. I was holding on, trying to control my food intake, my exercise. It's controlling, gripping. So it wasn't happening. It was like my body's fighting it for it to let go. This natural process of flow and surrender was limited and restricted because my body was fighting it so hard. On the flip side with your story, yes, a little movement, because then you get the blood circulating, you get things flowing, sufficient and adequate and proper movement according to your body constitution, going back to just Ayurveda. Based on your constitution, the type of movement can be very important, and how much movement is very important in keeping everything more in the flow, in sync. And as in female body, we have to embrace that fluidity, which took me a while to learn, because I was brought up in more of a rigid masculine type household. So it took me a while to learn, but once I embraced that, everything was it just became easier. And now I'm actually kind of embracing the time of my flow as well. because it is a time when I know my body is doing its work of letting go, and I think of it as a time of, okay, what else can I let go during this time period? It's a detoxifying process, basically. Yeah.
Right.
You want to add to that?
Yeah, and with my work with Moon Cycle, I teach women how to live and better align their lives according to their cycles. We've been taught to exercise, and more calories out than more calories in for the perfect physique. Like, all of that doesn't work. Actually, it's counter helpful for losing weight in the long run, like over exercising and eating less. And what you're doing is you're depleting your vitality, your agni, your chi, like all of that, you're depleting it, and then you'll end up sick or with hormone balances. And what happens is that your body is under constant attack, and it thinks that it's under, being chased by the tiger all the time, which really impacts your fertility, your reproductive organs, and if you're not doing well with life and with stress, the last thing your body wants to do is reproduce. So then all your hormones go kind of out of whack and maybe not optimal for conceiving. But even if you weren't wanting to conceive, it still poses other problems, like it could lead to really painful periods or absence of periods, and other issues that show up in your body. And so there is a fine balance of the types of exercise and how much you exercise. And, I like to say, in the first part, after you're done bleeding, is when you can do a little more aggressive exercise, like maybe the hot vinyasa flows or soul cycle or any of that. Whereas in the latter part of your cycle, you're slowing down and doing more restorative and more thinking more just restful or peaceful type of exercises, and that you're really supporting your body because of the way your hormones act. And when you have more estrogen, you have more energy, whereas in the latter part of your cycle you have a little bit more progesterone, and that's a relaxing hormone, and you naturally want to relax. And when you go against it, you're going against the grain, and you're fighting your body's innate wisdom, which then shows up as issues in all sorts of ways. For some people it could be autoimmune conditions, and some could be really related to the reproductive health. And so that's why it's important to do the proper kind of movements and kind of shut out whatever media is telling you, about exercise. So, and, especially coming right off this Thanksgiving holiday, everyone's being bombarded with detox diets and the turkey burn and, losing that weight and making you feel ashamed for your choices when it's just all a natural part of your cycle. And, we don't need to do these extreme diets and detoxes, whereas we can have more maintenance and lifestyle things that you can do throughout your life every day, and it could be joyful and not a punishment.
That's super important. We do live in a culture where it's all, especially for women, that you're not enough, you have to do this to get that kind of body, then you're gonna be enough. And it really that's something near and dear to my heart, because I have been victim of that, and through yoga and the messages of yoga, that you're already whole and complete as you are, and the practice of yoga is to help you realize that. And when you do realize that, then you can choose your lifestyle, your food choices, your relationship, and your environment, the people you surround yourself with, from a place of love and abundance, rather than, oh, I need this, and if only I have that, which is what our culture is built on a lot. And so that's why I focus on restorative yoga, because it's so neat. Bay Area, there's always a lot of, let's do this next thing, and let's go for that next thing. It's never ending.
Right.
And as female in the Bay Area, because there is it's great that we have such a equality or the fight for equality here, but at the same time I see a lot of women thinking, oh, I have to be like men.
Right. Instead of embracing our own feminine power and being who we are and rising to the top by being who we are and supporting each other as women to get to the top, and I think that's so powerful. Yeah. So, as women tend to get more cramping and back pain towards their period, can you explain a little bit about what's going on in the body to cause that, and maybe ways to help manage those symptoms?
Yeah, sure. So, from the female anatomy perspective, our joints and and especially around the sacrum and hips are already more lax.
Yeah.
And lax is good because we need this to be open for giving birth, but at the same time, when it's more relaxed or more open, it can also mean more unstable. So that's one thing why women will get some more back pain around the time of the period, because also progesterone will make your connective tissues a little bit more relaxed, so there's also more instability from that. Secondly, during the latter part of your cycle before your period starts, what your body is preparing for is lining the inside of your uterus in preparation for pregnancy, in preparation for that fertilized egg, where it's going to kind of cuddle and cushion it and protect it. And so there is a little bit more weight down in the lower abdomen area. You may not, some women might feel it in the way that's bloating or just feeling a little heavier, but that little discrepancy in the weight there could, if you already have like a sway back, which means like your low back is sway, and I see that a lot in women, especially if they wear high heels, then they're kind of pushing their butt out, then that's going to continue to imbalance the weight distribution of your front and back side of your body, putting more strain on your low back. So added a little bit of weight during the time of your period, that could really just throw things a little bit off balance and cause some complications in your low back. And thirdly is during and leading up to your period and during your period, the uterus is a little bit fuller. Like I was saying, it's padding up, it's preparing, and it could start to push into certain muscles in the low back, causing everything to feel a little tighter around the low back region and hips. And sometimes that tightness could just go up the chain of your spinal muscles and start pulling on your neck and head, causing headaches and migraines around that time.
I get period migraines.
Yeah, and I'm sure hormonally there's some factors contributing it to that too.
Yeah. There are, but I think again it goes back to nutrition, but also posture, and I feel like around my period all of this gets tense. Like I can feel the shift, and I'm like, oh, this is indication of a migraine about to come on, and but then I can also do some poses that help release that tension. So with the neck and head and shoulder and low back, one of my favorite thing when I'm feeling okay, this is the day or 2 days before my cycle starts or during my cycle, is simply putting my legs up over a couch or a chair, and you're lying down on the floor. But if you can picture it, you're just lying down on the floor, your legs are swung over your couch or your coffee table or a chair, so that your lower legs are level, and basically you're in this like 90-degree shape. Like
like that. Yeah, exactly. You're lying down, and what that does is not only is your entire back supported by something firm and safe like the ground itself, you're letting your spine really relax, because for the most part our spine's upright and working for us and holding everything. This thing is heavy. Your head is heavy. And as much as we try to be conscious of our posture, there's just certain times when we can't get around with it, like we're in front of the computers or just habitually we're not in the best of alignment, and that could, even the little things like this could lead to a lot of downstream effects, like just built up tension around the neck and shoulders. So by lying down, legs up on the chair, you're creating this very neutral ground for your whole spine, from the hips and sacrum all the way to your neck and shoulders. And that way your muscles in the backside of your body can truly relax into the floor. And through my personal practice and through working with a lot of my female clients and male clients, relaxing is such a difficult thing. Truly relaxing.
Yes. Yeah.
True relaxation, and you teach yoga nidra, and so you know that subtleties and nuances of what deep relaxation feels like. It's not just on your couch watching Netflix that's zoning out.
Yes, that's not really activating the brain waves and your vagus nerves to really like chill. Like true relaxation is like, I don't know if any of you have ever done like a sound bath or done one of those sensory deprivation tanks, and you know, like something that's like really just, it's almost like turning off your nervous system and then going into a deeper place, and that's like giving your body a reset.
Yeah. And it's very important for all of us, but especially during your cycle, to do that, because your body is working hard during that time. And like we were saying, for a lot of women, we're fighting against the natural rhythms of our body. So if we could just kind of, it's almost like you're getting out of your own way. You're just getting out of your own way, lying down, put your legs up, let your body do its thing. And there's a breathing exercise I really like to do as well to help with cramps. And
I can take this if you want to
sure
lead us through it.
Yeah. So let's all try this.
Okay.
So wherever you are, if you want to lie down, you can lie down. You can try putting your legs up on the chair right now if you have that accessible, or just sit wherever you're comfortable, or stand. And I like everyone to put both of your hands on your lower abdomen, lower belly, below your belly button. You can close your eyes if you like, or just have your eyes partially closed so that you're really drawing your awareness inward to what's happening in the internal landscape of your body. Okay. And just take a few easy, natural breaths. Nothing forced or rushed, just whatever feels natural at this moment. And if you're sitting upright, allow your hips to just kind of sink into whatever support that you are sitting on, so that you're relaxing a little bit around your low back and around your low belly and hips, and feeling your shoulders drape down away from your ears. And if you're lying down on the floor, just let your body sink down into the support of the earth. And then gently invite your breath a little lower down, so that you can feel your lower abdomen where your hands are. They expand as you inhale and soften as you exhale. So essentially you're just bringing the awareness into the lower abdomen area where your uterus and your reproductive organs are. A place where we don't really think about. We suck in our belly a lot of times for aesthetic reasons, so letting that flow, letting that open with your breath. And then, still keeping your breath as easy and natural as you can without forcing or straining your body, you're just going to take the breath even fuller into your lower abdomen, below your belly button, and slightly suspend the breath at the top of your inhale. and then gently exhale. And again, inhale down into the lower belly. Hold and suspend, keeping your body soft, and then gently exhale. And continue like that, inhaling into your low belly so that you feel your low belly expand and stretch out. And exhale gently. We'll do 2 more. Inhaling into your low belly. Expanding, slightly suspending your breath at the top of your inhale. And then gently exhale. One more round. Inhaling. Suspend. And gently exhale. And once you're finished with your last round, you can just rest your hands wherever comfortable. Take a few more easy breaths to observe the effects. Then you can slowly open your eyes.
That was so good.
Yeah.
That was a good reset. Just I think you could do that while even sitting at your computer desk.
Yeah,
or,
it's for everything.
Yeah. Even like if you're eating a meal and something stressful is happening, like I think you could take a couple of moments and really connect to this area.
Mm-hmm.
And I can, especially when you're cramping, just bringing more airflow, more prana to this area, more energy, can help release some of that tension and that cramping.
Right.
And just, since we're talking about back pain, there's a lot you can do nutritionally too, but it's not about doing it, oh, my back's hurting, let me go get the magnesium. It's about preparing your body throughout the cycle for that. Because we're in a cycle, we're cyclical, not just something we eat today is not going to have a reaction right away. It might take 30 days or to have a reaction in your body. And so, I would say if you are suffering from a lot of back pain, and you've ruled out fibroids and endometriosis, or even if you can't get there, I think a safe and easy way is to start with some magnesium, increasing leafy greens and sweet potatoes into your diet, but also taking a very high quality magnesium supplement, or magnesium spray, doing a magnesium rich bath salts, baths, so like an Epsom salt, but then you can get magnesium flakes that you can add into your bath. And then, we were drinking red raspberry leaf tea throughout this, and red raspberry leaf, it tones the uterus, and it's safe to take throughout the month, and it really helps alleviate a lot of other symptoms like tender breasts and swelling. So I recommend my clients to drink it throughout the month, at least one cup a day. It's a nice ritual to do in the evening, maybe right after you do this breathing exercise. You can have a cup of tea and then go to sleep. And then for some people, I recommend several cups a day. And then maybe while you're on your period, you actually don't need to drink it, and to give your body a rest, because at that point, your body is releasing, and so it's not really trying to tone the uterus at that point, but it's just such a nice herbal tea, and you can get it everywhere. Make sure it's organic, and make sure the tea bag is not a plastic tea bag. It's like a biodegradable type of tea bag. Tell us what exciting things you have going on.
Sure.
Because I think you have a challenge going on. And
I have a couple things going on. Currently, I am doing 31 days of self-care for the month of December. It started on Sunday, so for every day for the month of December, I'm hopping on live to share a simple self-care tip for the month that I either already do and incorporate in my daily ritual or something that I like to do more of. So you can follow me. My handle is Elaine_yoga therapy. So that's going on the month of December. Pretty soon, I also am going to put on my YouTube page a sequence. I think it's about 35-minute yoga sequence specifically designed for either you're feeling low energy or some back pain or cramping leading up to your cycle or during your cycle. It's more of a grounding practice, restorative and slow. So that's going to go on my YouTube hopefully by the end of this week or next week, and that will be on youtube.com/yoga with Elaine, all spelled out. So those are a couple of exciting things in the works. And you can find me on elaineyoga.com. I have actually an ebook you can download there for back pain, four essential poses for back pain. So if you do have back pain, low back pain, frequently, that's something you could check out as well.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you, Elaine, for taking out this time to chat with us, and we will be doing some more collaborations. As for Moon Cycle, I will be doing a more bigger formal launch of these live interviews with people in my community who work with women, who work with all ranges of reproductive health issues, and to just bring you what community support can do and alternative ways to take care of your body that doesn't require you to be on a prescription, and just really to get deep into the answers and activate your inner wisdom. So thank you for joining us. We welcome all questions and comments, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Bye everyone. Have a great day.
Hey.